Hello, comrades. His name, Yosef Bashevanovich Jugasvili, and known by his people, Joseph Stalin, the Man of Steel. When you hear his name, what do you think of? Was he a malicious dictator who starved his people and ruined an economy? Was he a man who just wasn't the best, but still defeated the Nazis? Or was he a great elected man who had led one of the first socialist states and made many great contributions? I go with the latter. I will detail his contributions, ignoring the lies about him, for today is his 141st birthday. Let us show him in the light that he deserves. Stalin grew up in Gori, Georgia, poor and the only child in his family. His father was an abusive shoemaker, and his mother was a laundress. In his teenage years, he earned a scholarship to attend a seminary in Tbilisi to become a priest for the Georgian Orthodox Church. During this time, he began reading the works of Karl Marx, interested in the revolutionary ideas against the Russian monarchy. Eventually, he left school and became a political agitator, taking part in the movement and strikes. He adopted the name Koba, after a fictional Georgian outlaw hero, and joined the Bolshevik Party led by Vladimir Lenin. He sacrificed many times getting arrested in the name of the revolutionary movement, from random arrests during protests all the way to robbing banks to fund the party. He was even subject to exile in Siberia. In 1906, he married Kato Savanitsy. Eventually, though, she left and he had a second wife named Nadia Alinuveva. I apologize if I got that wrong. In 1918. They had 2 children, a boy and a girl. In 1912, Lenin appointed Joseph Stalin to serve on the first Central Committee of the Bolshevik Party because Lenin was exiled to Switzerland. In 1917, the Bolsheviks won over Russia, and the Soviet Union was founded in 1922, with Lenin as the first leader. Stalin's continual dedication and successes allowed him to move up the party ladder, with him becoming Secretary General of the CCCP. Around 1924, Lenin was dying. Around 1918, someone shot Lenin in an assassination attempt, and he refused to go anywhere to get help. Instead, sought refuge in the Kremlin until medical individuals could get to him. Some believe that him waiting in the Kremlin to get help caused his strokes that led to his death. Before his death, Lenin were close with Stalin, and he even begged Stalin to kill him due to the pain he was enduring. However, Stalin could not bear to even think of the idea of killing his comrade. Stalin, who was enacting his role as general secretary, was doing his job as the manager of the Central Power. A congress occurs between Trotsky and Stalin, with Stalin winning popularity. Eventually, a document arises called Lenin's Testament, claiming that Stalin shouldn't get the power, and many believe this suspicious document to be forged. Stalin apologized for the claims of his rudeness, which was explained in the documents, but he explained this with that he only could be rude to those who wished to harm the party. Later in his leadership, he attempted to collectivize farms in order to prevent common famines in Ukraine and around Ukraine into Russian territory. After a few failed attempts due to the persistence of selfish landowners who ignored his caution of famines, the famines did happen, and so Stalin pushed for the collectivization, punished the kulaks and others who wanted to prolong the famines by burning their crops, and since then, no more famines occurred in Russia or Ukraine ever, only droughts. The Soviet Union was attacked by Nazi Germany, but Stalin's forces pushed them back, and eventually had a large control over Berlin, where conditions on the eastern side improved, as did every other republic that joined the Union. Stalin, who was elected 3 times by now, had attempted 4 resignations, with the last in 1952. However, the party demanded that he stayed, and indeed he had to. The details goes as this: the voice from the floor saying, and I quote, "We need to elect Comrade Stalin as the General Secretary of the CCCPSU, and the Chairman of the Council of Ministers of the USSR." End of quote. Stalin replies, and I quote, "No, I am asking that you relieve me of the 2 posts." End of quote. And Malenkov concluding the event with, and I quote, "Comrades, we should all unanimously ask Comrade Stalin, our leader and our teacher, to begin again the General Secretary of the CCCPSU." End of quote. Stalin unfortunately died in 1953 at the age of 74. During his funeral, an estimated 109 people died in the crowd, attempting to pay their respect to their beloved leader. In a summary, it can be said that he was always loyal to the cause. He defended the people from fascism and from the West. He inspired many jobs, and he industrialized the lands. He put the first women in jobs that built the industry from the ground up. And when he died, he continued to inspire many through his books and in his leadership. I have to personally say, thank you, Stalin, for everything that you did, for being the first to seek through socialism in the USSR against all of America, against the rest of the world. And happy birthday, comrade.